I can't breathe. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see by the title, we are going to talk about the law of attraction today. So on my Instagram story, I asked if I should talk about how I meditate or if I should talk about the law of attraction. And so only like 2 people voted for how to meditate, and I don't even remember. I think it was like, I'd say it was like probably about 19 people that voted for the law of attraction. So in short, the law of attraction is thoughts become things. I have my little notebook here again to talk about, or to keep me on topic, since, you know, how to use the law of attraction. I feel like this is probably the hardest part because we're so used to thinking about like negative things or things that we don't like or stuff that we're always complaining about. I'm thirsty. Drink it again. So you have to pay attention to your thoughts and emotions. And that's kind of like stopping yourself from thinking negatively about something. So say, for instance, you hate your job. I can relate. Previously, not the job that I have now, I actually love it. I'm gonna get to all of that later. But say you hate your job and you're like always complaining about Pam didn't do this right, or Rachel didn't refill the coffee. That wasn't really a good example. Let me see. Basically, you're always complaining about something. If you're always complaining about something, then you are only putting out negative vibes. And that's why I'm so careful about who I let in my space, because I don't want to hear complaints. I don't want to hear that. Like, I understand, like, we have moments and stuff, but like if you're complaining all the time, oh my gosh. Just don't do that. It kind of seems like a task at first. It's just exhausting when you're trying to control your thoughts. You're like starting to think something negative and you catch yourself and you're like, oh. So one way to combat that, or what makes it easier, is, you know, writing down everything that you're grateful for, like I talked about in my depression video. So write down every single thing that you're grateful for and then review that before you go to bed. You're kind of reprogramming, ooh, got stuck in there. You're kind of reprogramming your mind to think more positively about your environment. And the more positively that you're thinking, the more positive energy that you're putting out there, and the more positivity you're attracting to yourself. Same thing goes with thinking negatively. So if you're always noticing how something seems to be going wrong and you're always wondering why stuff's happening to you, it's because you're thinking negatively about something. It doesn't necessarily have to be that thing, but you are thinking negatively about something. It can come back to you, just not in the way you think, kind of like karma, if that makes sense. Like attracts like. In my depression video, I put a motivational video down below in the description, and if you click on that, it'll probably show some other videos that are similar. And if you're listening to those every day, then you will come across some of the videos where you can hear Steve Harvey saying that we are magnets, that like attracts like, and what you think about is what you will manifest in your life. That is basically the law of attraction. It's just keeping your thoughts positive, being grateful about every single thing that you have. Things could be so much worse for you. I don't really want you to compare your situation to someone else's just to make yourself feel better. But if you look around and see everything that you have, you need to be grateful for that. Yeah, I'm not even going to talk about that. So we're just going to cut that out. So the actual formula for the law of attraction is ask, believe, receive. The way I do it as compared to what most other people will do, which, sidebar, I feel like in a lot of the books that they have out there where they talk about the law of attraction, they refer to it as the universe, but I think they say that just so that it can appeal to all types of people. When they say the universe, I say God. Back to what we were talking about. I ask God for something that I want, and then I believe that I'm going to get it. And I know this is probably like one of the hardest parts for some people. I know it was hard for me at first because you're so used to being negative that you're like kind of programmed to just doubt yourself, or doubt that something will come to you, or doubt that you'll get something that you want. To counter that, you just have to keep being grateful, to kind of program your mind to be more positive. And that's when it gets easier to start believing that you're going to get what you ask for. And then receive. So being in the receiving mode is like letting go of what you ask for from God and believing that He will give it to you, and just living in the moment. Like, don't obsess over it, because that's going to make it feel like it's taking longer. And as we all know, everything is in God's timing, so we can't rush anything. Anyway, that's how you stay in the receiving mode. So remember, ask, believe, and receive. I feel like a lot of the other videos don't really emphasize how much you need to put into this as far as like negative thinking. So what trips people up when they're trying to manifest or use the law of attraction is doubt, negative thoughts, complaining, and negative emotions. Because if you didn't know, emotions is energy in motion, and that's the vibe that you're putting out there. So remember, when you put out a negative vibe, you get negativity into your life, and we don't want that, now do we? What a lot of people don't mention in their videos is faith without works is dead. So you can't just ask God for something and believe that you're gonna get it and then just keep being in the receiving mode without actually working for what you want to get. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like He's just going to take what you ask for and drop it in your lap like boom, there you go. I mean, He could, because if you look up law of attraction videos on YouTube, this lady said how she manifested $24,000 in less than 24 hours, but she had to get in a car accident or something like that for her to receive that money. So that's another thing. When you ask for something, you better be willing to deal with the consequences of that. And you know what? I like money and all that, but I would not want to get in a car accident just to get money. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather just ask for abundance and work hard for whatever I'm going to get, like I have been doing. So my story with the law of attraction, I have two actually that were like really, that I noticed. The first one was my apartment that I have now. When I was in college, I think I was like a freshman. I had just gotten there, and that whole first semester was like a party semester, and we would go to some of these people's places for their house parties, and I'd be like, oh my god, this apartment is so nice, it's so pretty, like, I wish I could live here, but I have to live in the dorms. And I didn't have a lot of help from my parents when I was in school. So I did have to work my way through, and then of course some benefits that I was blessed with. Never got to live in the luxury student apartments and stuff, and I was just like, oh my god, I wish I could live there and blah blah blah. And 5 years later, now I have that apartment. Like, it didn't just drop in my lap. Like, I had to work hard for it, but I got exactly what I was looking for. So that's one story. And then my second story is with my job. So I didn't have the security of a job waiting for me after I graduated college. I guess my personality and the way I got along with other people and how I tried to work hard or really tried to learn things is what made my VP want me to stick around. And so they're just trying to kind of help me find a job, like really anywhere in the company, which I really liked it there. I liked the people and everything. The job itself was communications, but it dealt with complaints. They would address their issue, but then they would also have like 2 or 3 other pages of complaints. And like after a while, that really gets to you. You know what I mean? Like it's negative and it's draining. I wasn't fulfilled there. I was reading You Are a Badass, and I was like I was in a weird headspace. Yeah, I was definitely going into a depression as far as like my career. I was like, I worked so hard and I'm still not seeing like the benefits of all this hard work that I put in for these past 5 years. I started to kind of go downhill there, but I was kind of like trying to keep my positivity in there, even though I didn't feel that way. I was like, you know what? I'm here. At least I have a job. At least I can pay my bills now, even though it took me like, I think, a month and a half to be able to start working like full time there. So that was like super stressful because I already had bills that I had to take care of. So I sucked it up. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to decorate my desk and try to make it as pretty as I possibly can and just appreciate where I'm at. I had stopped applying for jobs because I was like, you know what? This is just stressing me out. I cannot do this. I stopped applying. One day, I don't know how it happened. One day I just decided to apply for a job. This was like months later. I just did it. And you know how whenever you get to one of those the parts of the application that is like kind of testing your mental, they kind of want to see your personality and all that. I got to that and I was like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. It's too much. The application was already too long. I'm not about to take a test for y'all. So I didn't do it. 2 days later, I got a call from a recruiter and she was like, hey, we saw that you applied, but you didn't take your test, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll take it, blah, blah, blah. So I ended up taking the test, and then I think either the next day or a couple days after, she called me back for an interview, and I was like, I almost missed an opportunity for an interview because I didn't want to take the test. And so I ended up taking the test and got an interview, I think, for 2 days later. And then the very next day after the interview, I was hired for the job. And mind you, this was like my dream position. I was like, finally, this is like what I went to school for. I'm finally getting to put to use things that I learned and things that I actually like. Back a couple hours later, and they were like, hey, we saw that you have a master's degree. We're upping your salary to this. And I was just like, whoa, thank you. That's another story I have for the law of attraction. So yes, ask, believe, receive, but you have to work hard. And I personally think that meditating does help in this process just because it helps you clear your mind of like any thoughts and kind of helps you just, push all that stuff out. Thank you so much for watching my video. I appreciate you guys voting and helping me out with this. I kind of wanted to do something that you guys actually wanted to see, so I appreciate you. Thank you for the new followers. Again, you guys are absolutely amazing. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.